Okay, guys. So welcome back. So I think today is the last session of our basically data analysis with Python, and in this 7 day session, I think we learn a lot. We learn about all kind of basically libraries through which we can perform a data analysis. Okay, so I think we learn about all different kinds of libraries and all different kinds of function through which we can perform a data analysis and through which we can through which our lives becomes easier. Okay, so I think yes, we are able to learn all the basically important concepts which is related to a data analysis. And I think if I talk about first two sessions, so I think I talked about fundamentals, and then I talked about NumPy, then Pandas, and then in yesterday's session, I think I talked about Matplotlib and Seaborn. Okay, so visualization tools. Okay, so the visualization tools I talk about are basically visualization tools, and definitely so these are all different kinds of libraries which are important. Okay, so which are important to make any kind of analysis and which makes your life easier. Okay, and with the help of a data visualization, with the help of basically a graphs, you are able to basically you are able to make maybe your client happy, and you are able to basically visualize the things, and you are able to make some insights from the data. Okay, so it definitely help you to get insights from the data, and on the basis of that insights only. Okay, so on the basis of that insights only, you are able to make a prediction, you are able to make a model through which you can make a prediction for the future, you can take a decision for basically a future or any kind of a thing. Okay, so yes, these are all basically essential steps, and these are all basically these libraries and visualization tools are basically important. Now, I think in today's session, I basically told you that in today's session, I am going to teach you about how in a real life. Okay, so how in a real life data set. Okay, so I think we took maybe a Titanic data set, and in yesterday's session, I gave some kind of an example. So I talk about a Titanic data set. I talk about maybe a Irish data set. But yes, okay, so but yes, when so what is a different kind of analysis question? Okay, so what may be a different kinds of analysis question that people can ask you? Okay, so what may be the different kinds of an analysis question that people may ask you, and what kind of an analysis or what kind of insights you can get from a data set? Okay, so from a real life data set. Okay, so today I'm going to take an example. Okay, so I'm going to take an example of basically IPL data set. Okay, so okay, so IPL is going to start from the next month, and definitely you guys can make a prediction, you guys can make a model through which you can make a prediction. But the most important thing. Okay, so what is the most important thing? So this is the data set which is available on Kaggle, and you all go in Kaggle and can download this data set. Okay, and definitely this particular data, Kaggle is basically a very good platform for a data scientist. Okay, for any one of you. So Kaggle is a very good platform to explore yourself, and definitely it will gives you basically a lot. You can learn a lot. Okay, so from Kaggle you can learn a lot. You get a chance to work on a different kinds of a data set. Okay, so I just took this data set from a Kaggle itself, and it shows me that it is updated 3 years ago. Means I have a data set till 2017. Okay, so from starting from 2008 till 2017, I have basically this much of a data set of IPL. Okay, so and definitely in my data set I have different columns. Okay, so on that things. Okay, so on that column I am going to make some kind of analysis. Okay, so on a data set which is available. Okay, so the data set which is available to me, I am going to make an analysis on the same data set. Okay, so fine guys, yes, it is easy to make a data set, and definitely analysis means what. I will show you today that what do you mean by analysis. So analysis simply means that you ask some question by yourself. Okay, so you ask some question by yourself related to a data set, and then you are trying to give your answer maybe from the data sets itself. You are trying to give your answer, and try to represent yourself with try to represent your answer maybe in by plotting some graphs and maybe with some pictures. Okay, so I just downloaded this data set from here. You guys can also download, although all these things are basically I assure you that all these things are available to you in a description box, like all my previous sessions are basically, I think, available to you in a description box of a YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. Okay, so yes, I am going to basically do this kind of a task. And yes, so step by step I am going to show you my analysis on this IPL data set. And step by step I am going to definitely I can ask maybe some question related to a data set, and then we are trying to give the answer in form of maybe. Okay, so what is analysis of maybe, okay, so what is the importance of a data analysis? Okay, so guys, okay, so this is a day 7 finally. Okay, so importance of data analysis is fine. So with the help of a data analysis, okay, so with the help of a data analysis, you are able to get some insights from the data. Okay, so your insights means what you get. If you are able to get some information, very key information, a very important information from the data, and okay, and on the basis of the same information, you are trying to build a predictive model. Okay, so that information, that basically important information, that particular information which you are trying to basically derive from your data set, which you are trying to derive from your data set through a data analysis, is basically help you to make any kind of a predictive model. Okay, so yes, data analysis is important in that way. And step by step, the concept is become more clear. Okay, so just try to concentrate on basically for next 1 hour, and yes, you are able to make any kind of a data analysis on any kind of a data set after that. Okay, so I'm just importing some important libraries. So matplotlib dot pyplot has plt. Okay, and then a cbot. Now I am going to read this data set. So IPL is equals to vd dot read csv. And what is the name of my data set? So the name of my data set is nothing but analysis.csv. Okay. Okay, so this is my data set, and yes, you guys are able to basically visualize the first 5 rows of my data set. I think this is completely fine. Okay, so this is completely fine. You are able to visualize basically my data set. Okay, now let me check the basically shape of this data set. And I think after that, I'm also going to check the columns. Okay, so which are basically columns are available. Okay, so I think you are able to see that there are 636 rows are available in this particular data set. Okay, so we have a 636 rows and we are having a 18 columns. Okay, so just try to see the columns. Okay, because that is basically important things. Okay, so I am having an ID. So ID is definitely going to be a unique. Then a season. Okay, so season means in which year. Okay, so it is talking about in season we are talking about a year. Okay, then city, in which city we are basically they are playing the match. Then a date, team 1, team 2. So team 1, team 2 is nothing but just but definitely 2 teams are playing. Okay, in a single game. And then a toss winner, who is basically a toss winner, then a toss decision. Okay, so after winning the toss, what they are basically decided, okay, whether they are decided for a field or whether they are decided for a bat. Okay, then result is basically result is giving the form of a normal. Okay, so we will check. Okay, so this is the importance of analysis. We will check. Okay, so what do you mean by a normal result? Okay, so what do you mean by normal result? So I think if we basically try to find it out, so we can find it out that normal means maybe so I think in a result column we have maybe we are having maybe two classes. Okay, so normal means yes, we are getting some result. Okay, maybe okay, so team one may own I think may own that match, or maybe a team two own that match. Okay, so that is maybe the normal result. Or maybe abnormal result means what? So maybe abnormal result means a match is maybe a tie, or maybe abandoned by because of ran. Okay, so that is that may be possible. That is the meaning of other thing. Okay, so yes, we are trying to look at this thing, that what is basically a normal and what is the other class. Then we can make our assumption. Okay, so then a DL applied. Okay, so DL applied. So I think it is talking about a Duckworth-Lewis Niam is applied or not. Okay, so maybe in between. Okay, so suppose in between, if there is some ran. Okay, or if there is some maybe any issue. So most of the time, a Duckworth-Lewis Niam is a Duckworth-Lewis rule is basically applied. Okay, so zero means yes, there is no Duckworth-Lewis rule is applied, or one means yes, the rule is applied. Okay, then the winner. Okay, so who is the winner of basically from these two teams? Okay, so Sunrise Hyderabad is winner in the first column. Sorry, in the first row. Then win by runs. So with the how many runs they are win. Okay, so the Sunrise Hyderabad won by 35 runs. Okay, then win by wicket. So definitely if they win by a run, so they are not going to win by a wicket, because it means that Sunrise Hyderabad is uh, basically batted first, and they gave some target, and Royal Challengers Bangalore is not able to chase that target, and they lost by 35 runs. Fine. Then a player of the match, who is the player of that particular match. Okay, fine. Yuvraj Singh. And then a venue. Okay, so what is the venue where basically this match happened? Okay, so this is a column of a city. So this is happen. A city means in which city the match is basically that match took place. Okay, and then this is a column of a venue, that particular name of that particular stadium. Okay, then the empire one, empire two, empire three. Okay, so the name of all the three empires. Fine. So this is basically all the columns which is available to us. Now, okay, so now it's our job to make analysis. Okay. So I think if I ask you the question, okay, so suppose if I ask you the question, what so definitely we have an 18 columns. Okay, so we have an 18 columns, and 1 second, guys. Okay, so we have an 18 columns, and so now if I ask you the question, okay, so what do you think that which column is basically the irrelevant? If I maybe suppose if I make any kind of prediction that which team is going to own the match, or which team is going to lose the match. Okay, so what do you think that which column is basically irrelevant, or maybe which column is not giving me any kind of an information? Okay, with not giving me any kind of basically important information. Okay, so I think I think okay. So if I took maybe if I can choose maybe some columns which is not relevant, or which is not going to me any kind of an information, which is not going to give me any kind of an essential information. So I think empire one, empire two, or empire three is definitely is maybe in my opinion. Okay, so you can have your own opinion, but maybe in my opinion, I think empire, because empire columns is not giving me any kind of it is not relevant, and it is not basically much important. Okay, so whoever maybe the empire. Okay, so whoever maybe the empire, it is not basically going to affect the, I think, the match result. Okay. So okay, so in that case, in that scenario, okay, I am going to drop a empire column. Okay, so IPL dot drop, and maybe if I took maybe some another columns also. Okay, so I can drop I think ID column also I can drop. It is not giving me any kind of insight, but this is a unique ID. I can keep it as it is. Okay, so I'm going to drop basically empire column. I just think that this column is not giving me any importance. It is not giving me, it is not basically keeping, putting any kind of effect on basically match result. Okay, now if I check whether the column is completely removed or not. Okay, so yes, the column is removed. Okay, so I'm able to drop basically a 3 columns. Now I am having what I'm having a, I'm just having a 15 columns. Okay, so I'm just having a 15 columns. Okay, fine. Now it's time to check unique values inside each column. Okay, so in my categorical columns, it's time to check basically the unique values. Okay, so I think we have so many I think categorical columns. Okay, so I am having so many categorical columns in this place. Okay, so okay, so I am having a team 1 column, then I am having a team 2 column, then I am having a team a toss winner. Okay, so these are all what? These are all basically categorical column. Then I am having maybe a winner column. Okay, then I am having a player of the match column. Then I am having a venue column. Okay, so I am having a different basically columns, and these all columns are basically a categorical. Okay, so I definitely check what are the basically unique values inside this column. And if you know, okay, so because you can tell me that yes, in IPL I think 8 teams are playing. Okay, so but 8 teams are playing IPL from okay, so in for most of the years only 8 teams are playing. Okay, but I think if I talk about a couple of years, okay, so in between, so different teams are also playing. Maybe in some year, 10 teams are playing, and in maybe some year, 1 year, 9 teams are playing. Okay, so we have a data of from 2008 to 2017. So yes, I can check that thing. So team 1 dot unique. Okay, so yes, you can check basically unique values. So Sunrisers Hyderabad, then Mumbai Indians, then Gujarat Lions, then Rising Pune Supergiant. Okay, so these are all the teams. Okay, so Gujarat Lions is also playing. Maybe 2 years back, Gujarat Lions is playing in place of when basically Chennai Super King and Rajasthan Royals are banned for 2 years. Okay, then Royal Challengers Bangalore, then KKR, then Delhi Daredevils, and I think. The name is also changed, I think, of Delhi Daredevils, then a Kings 11 Punjab, Chennai Super King. Okay, and then Pune Warriors, Kochi Tusker Kerala. So these are basically 2 teams which are playing maybe in 2011 and 12. Okay, so if I check basically what are the total number of unique values. So yes, I can check this thing. I can check this thing with the help of n unique total number of unique. So 14 unique values are there. Fine. So, and if I check basically unique cities, or maybe if I check maybe unique stadiums, so yes, I can check basically unique venue. So how many venue where basically match happened? Okay. So, and guys, remember that 35 venues are there, and if you know that I think if you can also get some basically unique values in in maybe from UAE and from South Africa also, because in 1 year, I think in 2009, IPL basically the IPL happened in South Africa. Okay, so Green Park and okay, Green Park. Okay, so this is the stadium in our India itself. Okay, so I think Buffalo Park or St. George Park or Kingsmead. So these are all the stadium which is in maybe South Africa. And then you can also get some stadium name. Okay, so Sharjah Cricket Stadium, Dubai International Cricket Stadium. So this is I think in UAE. Okay, guys. So now I think you are able to understand these things. Okay. So just try to make some replacement. Okay, because you all know that these teams. Okay, so these teams are all the teams. Okay, so the name of all the teams I have written. So these teams are not playing right now. Okay, so Rising Pune Super Giants. Okay, and I think if you check clearly, so Rising Pune Super Giants is basically repeated. Okay, so Rising Pune Super Giant is not playing. Okay, so I can remove all the rows associated with the Rising Pune Super Giants. Then Delhi Daredevils. Okay, so we can basically replace this thing. Okay, so we can replace this thing. We can replace a Delhi Daredevils with the Delhi Capitals. Okay, then I can basically maybe remove Pune Warriors. Okay, so I can remove maybe replace a Pune Warriors also, or I can replace. Okay, fine. Just check if you can remove anything else. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to replace. I'm not trying to remove. I just trying to replace some values. Okay, because the things are repeating. Okay, so IPL dot team one, and in this team, if I want to replace something, okay, so replace. Okay, so on the very first place, I'm trying to replace maybe a Rising Pune Super Giants. Okay, so the real name is Rising Pune Super Giant. Okay, and or maybe a Super Giants. Okay, fine. So just put one name. Okay, don't. It is not needed that you should give up two names. Okay, then try to replace a Delhi Daredevils with a Delhi Capitals. Okay, fine. And just try to check Pune Warriors India. I think the complete name is Pune Warriors India. Okay, so you can make these changes. I think it will unnecessarily take time. You can you only need to replace. Okay, so I think if I replace just with that, it is fine. Okay, so team one and team two, I just make a changes, and I need to make maybe a same changes in maybe a toss winner. Okay, so just try to copy it once more in a toss winner. Okay, wherever you basically saw the teams. Okay, so wherever you saw the teams. So team one, team two, then the toss winner, and then the winner. Okay, so just try to take this name, a toss winner and the winner. Okay, fine. So a toss winner and a winner. Fine, guys. So yes, I'm able to make this thing possible. Now, if I check in IPL, basically a team one dot n unique. Okay, fine. So in a IPL, basically, if I try to check this thing, so I'm having 14 teams now. Okay, and yes, I'm able to basically replace at rising wherever there is a rising super giants. I'm able to remove it with a rising super giant. Okay, fine. Now, if I check the null values, okay, so if I try to check the null values, and here, okay, so if you have a proper knowledge of a data set, okay, so if you have a proper knowledge of a data set, okay, so a proper knowledge of a data set is important, and analysis is important is because at the time of analysis you are trying to get you are trying to basically take a complete knowledge of a data set. Okay, so complete knowledge of a data set means what? Complete knowledge of a data set means you are not only trying to check you are only not only trying to see the data set, you are also trying to basically check okay, so what is this data set all about? So this is I am talking about the IPL. So you are you are also trying to check the history of the IPL. Okay, so and I think with that history, okay, so in a null column, I'm going to show you that how with the basically if you have a little bit of knowledge. Okay, so if you have a brief knowledge of a IPL, okay, so what is an IPL, and where basically this tournament takes place, and what are the basically different kinds of venue. So now I can show you that you are not going to impute your null values to the mean and median, because if you are trying to impute your null values with the mean and median, so it will definitely not going to help you. Okay, and suppose if you are only trying to maybe drop this null values, then only then also it is not going to help you. Okay, so I will try to show you which are the basically rows where there is a null value. So IPL, and then inside an IPL. Okay, so I think you all know this thing. So this is called a Boolean masking. Okay, and I am just trying to mask something. Okay, so how I am trying to mask something. Okay, so yes, you are able to understand. So is null. Okay, so wherever there is a null values. Okay, and if I remove this thing, so it will only give me in the value of in basically it is only give me the output in the form of true and false. Okay, but now I'm trying to access that particular value where there is maybe something not happen. Okay, where there is some issue. Okay, so if there is any null values, okay, so try to give me only those rows where there is null values. Okay, so you guys can see that we only have a 7 null values inside a city column. We have a 3 null values in a winner column, and we have a 3 null values in a player of the match column. Okay, so it is completely fine. Okay, so you can basically here also you can make your analysis. Okay, so why there is a null values in a winner column? So definitely suppose if the match is not happened. Okay, so suppose a match is amended by a ran, or maybe match is amended by maybe the match is tie, or maybe if there is some light issue and the match is abandoned, or maybe match is tied. Okay, so only at that point of a time you are not able to decide the winner. Fine. I think this is definitely. I think this much of cricketing knowledge, all of you having this much of cricketing knowledge. Now, if the winner is not decided, so definitely in that particular match, you can't have the player of the match. Okay, so definitely if a winner is basically if you have 3 null values in a winner place, so you are going to same null values in a player of the match. Okay, so you guys can check. Okay, so NAND and basically a NAND on the same place. Now, if I talk about a city, okay, guys, so try to see basically a city. Okay, so you guys can see that you have basically a city, a NaN column. Okay, so you have a city, you have a NaN column in a city. Okay, so you have a NaN in this column, and then a NaN, again NaN, again NaN, again NaN, again NaN, and likewise. Okay, so basically you have NaN values in okay, so okay, so in continuation. Okay, so you have a NaN values in a continuation. Fine. So you have a NaN values in continuation. Okay. So fine, you have a NaN values in continuation. Okay, first try to make analysis on a winner and a player of the match. Okay, so if there is maybe a no result. Okay, so yes, okay, I'm basically I'm thinking about result as normal and no result. Okay, so that is completely fine, and we can also check this thing. We can definitely make a clarification on this thing, that inside an IPL and inside a result column, what are basically the classes. So we have 3 classes: a normal, tie, and no result. Okay, so if there is no result and a winner, so there is no winner. Okay, so definitely you are not going to fill this value with the mean or with the median, because why you are not going to fill this value? Because so suppose if I talk about IPL. Okay, so if you have maybe a little bit of a knowledge of an IPL, so I think you guys can easily assume that lot of the, okay, so most of the matches is owned by a Mumbai Indians. Okay, so most of the matches is owned by a Mumbai Indians, or maybe yeah, okay, or maybe if you take some other name on the second play, maybe a Chennai Super King. Okay, fine. Now, if you try to fill this null value with a mean, okay, so if you try to fill this null value with a mean, so definitely your answer is going to be wrong, because the two teams which are playing is a Delhi Daredevils and a Pune Warriors, and you are going to fill this null values, basically this winner name, with a Mumbai Indians. So definitely your answer is going to be wrong. Fine. So yes, you are not able to fill this null values with a mean or with a median or maybe anything, because you can't you definitely can't take it. Okay, or maybe you can only fill this null values with maybe some arbitrary value. So you can make your own assumption that in between a Delhi Daredevils or in a Pune Warriors. So I think a Delhi Daredevils is going to win that match if the match is basically happened. So hypothetically, you can basically place a Delhi Daredevils over here, but that is not a correct way. Fine. So in a winner column and in a player of the match column, wherever there is a null values, so you can easily drop that particular rows. Okay, fine. So I think yes. So this is you are able to understand that wherever there is a null value inside a winner column or inside a player of the match column, so you are going to drop that values. Okay, I think this is fine. Now in a city column. Okay, so what is you are going to fill in a city column? Okay, so just check it, guys. So in a city column, again, if you are trying to fill this city column with a mode value, okay, so suppose if you are trying to fill the city column with a mode value, so I think you get a value maybe a Royal Challengers Bangalore, basically a Chinnaswamy Stadium, or maybe Wankhede Stadium, or yeah, or maybe a Eden Garden. Okay, so because most of the matches are played maybe in these gardens. Okay, so most of the matches are played in this garden, or maybe at this stadium. Sorry, so at this stadium. So if I check, okay, if I check you for if I check it for you. Okay, so most of the matches are played in maybe yes in a Chinnaswamy Stadium, then a Eden Garden. Okay, so I am actually I am actually I am actually having a cricket mania, so I know some of the statistics. Okay, so Chinnaswamy Stadium, and then a Eden Garden, then a Firoza Kodla, then Wankhede Stadium. Okay, and blah blah blah. Fine. So most of the matches are basically played in this stadiums. Okay, so if you're trying to fill this null value with a mode, okay, or maybe a maximum, so definitely you get a Chinnaswamy Stadium in place of here, okay. But your answer is totally wrong, because in 2014, all the matches are basically played in a UAE. Okay, so you can't fill. So definitely in UAE, there is no stadium named with a Chinnaswamy. Okay, so you can't fill this null value with a Chinnaswamy Stadium, or you can't fill this null value with a mode. Fine, or maybe any kind of a statistical observation. Okay, so in this place, a little bit of knowledge of a data set is basically very important. So definitely you are going to fill this null values with the stadium in QE where there is some matches. Okay, so I think if you try to see the basically stadiums in UAE, so I think you have a Sheikh Zayed Stadium, then Dubai International Stadium, and then maybe a GC. Okay, so this is in continuation. Okay, so these are all the stadiums, which is maybe I think only two or three stadiums are there. Okay, not more than that. Okay, so Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Okay, so only two or three stadiums are there, not more than that. And here it is written that basically 7777. Okay, so if you are trying to okay, so I think after 2014, so all the data are basically belongs to okay, so then we have a data of Bangalore, then we have a data of different places. Okay, so we don't have a data of the cities. Okay, so definitely I can fill this null values with a Dubai, or maybe a Sharjah cricket, or maybe a Sharjah stadium, or maybe a Sheikh Zayed stadium. Okay, yeah, a Sharjah cricket stadium, or a Sheikh Zayed stadium, or a Dubai stadium. Okay, definitely. So Dubai is written here 7 times. Okay, so Dubai comes for the 7 times, and then a Sheikh Zayed stadium is come for the 7 times. and a Sharjah stadium is to come for a 6 times. Okay, so you can basically fill this value with maybe a Sharjah stadium, or maybe and definitely you can make one more analysis. Okay, so you can basically find out this stadium. Okay, so you can basically find out okay, this basically stadium from your maybe knowledge. Okay, so if you try to gain some knowledge, so you can get this you can get the correct stadium name. Fine. So at a time of analysis, these are all the things you are trying to find out. Okay, and definitely that is why it is helping you to make a best predictive model. Okay, that is why it is helping it helps you to make a best predictive model. Okay, so as far as my research, I can basically fill this null values with a Dubai stadium. Okay, so I just fill this null values with a Dubai. Simply simple. Okay, so I think I have maybe null values at 461. Okay, so I just try to 461, 62, 66, 68. Okay, so 461, 462, then 466, then a 468, then I think 469, 464, 476. So a 469, and then a 474, I think, and then 476. Fine, and then I have a city column. So I try to find out this thing in a city column, and I just want to basically fill this column with a name Dubai. Okay, now I will dot. Okay, and I can also basically drop a null values in maybe in where in from I think from a winner column and a player of the match column. Okay, fine. So I think yes, guys, you are able to basically understand this thing. Okay, so just try to do this thing. Okay, so yes, so if I try to find out this thing, so IPL dot maybe a drop any. I just apply a drop any, and just I can place is equal to. Now if I check basically a missing value, so is null dot sum. Now I'm having a no missing values. Fine. Okay, guys. So I think you all are able to understand this at least till this part. Okay. So okay, and step by step, I think you are able to understand that why analysis are important, and with the help of analysis, what are all different kind of observation you can basically make. Okay, so now if so one by one, if I ask if related to this basically particular data set, okay, so in association with this data set, if I ask you maybe several questions, okay. So if I ask you the question, which city has hosted the most number of the matches? Okay. So if I ask you the question, which city has hosted the most number of matches? Okay. So this is maybe my first analysis question, which I ask. Okay. So so this is what. So I think this is nothing but a univariate analysis. So with the help of, because whenever you are trying to make an analysis on a single variable, so that becomes a what? That becomes a univariate analysis. Okay. So I'm just trying to ask you to make a univariate analysis. Okay. I think a very simple concept. Okay. So I just try to ask you to make a univariate analysis. Okay. So my first question related to the data set is nothing but which city has hosted the more number of matches? Okay. So how I can basically find out this thing? So cities, and inside the cities, if I can write down. So I can try to write down with group by. Okay. So IPL dot group by, and I want to find out for what? I want to find out for a city. Okay. And I want to take a unique cities. Okay, so all the IDs are unique, I told you. and then account. Now, if I check basically for cities, so Abu Dhabi has 7 matches, then Ahmedabad having basically sorry. Okay, so first time Abu Dhabi. Okay, so it is giving me in alphabetical order. Okay, so it is giving me in alphabetical order. Fine, and maybe if I try to check all. Okay, so it is giving me in alphabetical order, but definitely I don't want in a basically alphabetical order. Okay, so I don't want in an alphabetical order. I want in an ascending order. Okay, so I want in an ascending order and or maybe in a descending order. Okay, so just try to do this thing. Okay, so I just tried to use a cities dot rename. So I just ID is nothing but maybe okay. So you can say that ID is nothing but a unique value, something. Okay, so that is something a unique values. So I just try to replace this thing. I just try to basically make a replacement. Okay, and maybe if I try to check. Okay, so I think I need to make a clarification. Okay, 633. Fine, fine. So I'm having a unique values. Okay. So I'm just trying to rename my columns. Okay, so I'm trying to rename my column. So I just trying to rename my column name ID as a matches. Okay, because it give me a count. Okay, so Abu Dhabi ke andar basically, so in Abu Dhabi we observed 7 matches, then in Ahmedabad we observed 12 matches, then in Bangalore we observed 64 matches, then this is some I think some city in South Africa where we have 2 matches. Okay, so fine, so I'm just trying to replace this ID. Okay, so because this just give me a count. Okay, so ID with the matches. Okay, so fine, guys. And then I'm trying to short this value. I'm going to short this value. So cities is equals to cities dot values. Okay, short values. Okay, so in accordance with the matches, I'm going to short this value, and you can short basically in any order. Okay, so it depends upon you. Okay, so if you can check, so you can basically short in maybe any order. So it gives ascending is equal to true. Okay, so if you're trying to short in maybe a descending order, so the place where basically a lot of matches happen. Okay, so maybe that comes on the first place. Okay, so if you make it a false, okay, so it becomes it tries to give you a value in a descending order. Fine, and then I just try to use a reset index, and this is completely fine. Now if I check for a city, okay, so data frame has no index. Now if I check for the cities, okay, so most number of matches are played in a Mumbai, 85 matches. Then in a Bangalore, 64 matches. In Kolkata are 61 matches. Then in a Delhi, 59 matches. Then in Hyderabad, 49 matches. Chennai, 48 matches. Okay, so these are all the top cities where most number of the matches are basically played. Fine, guys. Now, if I try to make a graph for this, and then I try to visualize my observation in much more representative way. Okay, so just I just try to make a graph. So plt dot figure, and I give a fixed size. Okay, so size of my figure. So it is maybe 20 comma 12. And then I can try to plot maybe a bar plot. is played in a city. Okay. So with the help of SNL store bar plot, then in at y-axis I'm having city, and I just took a data means my data frame is what? My data frame is cities. Okay, so yes, in a Mumbai, most number of the matches are played than Bangalore, Kolkata, okay, and likewise. Okay, so this is a answer of the basically a first analysis question, and definitely in this way, basically anyone can ask you the question. Okay, and then you can write down your observation here. Okay, I think when I basically okay, so if you watch the recording, okay, so if you watch the recording of yesterday's session. So in that, if you basically open the notebook, okay, so if you are able to open the notebook, so I think you guys are able to see that I'm definitely trying to make a markdown after each and every cell. Okay, and definitely that markdown is basically important, and that with the help of that markdown only, client is able to understand. Okay, so what is basically going on in our code. Okay, because he's not expert and he's not a data scientist, so he can only able to understand from your basically a markdown or from your maybe whatever the observation you can make. Okay, so then only he can able to understand. Okay, from your comment maybe. Sir, sir, shall you give the yesterday's class description link? I think it is there in YouTube link itself. Okay. After the class, I will show you. Okay, so I think it is there in our description link itself. In a description, there is one thing written, a code link. Okay, so in a code link, the link is given, and I think that link is so I think I'm trying to basically make a separate folder on my drive, and I'm trying to give the basically link of that particular I'm trying to give that particular link of that particular drive. Okay, so I think in that particular folder you can find out the notebook of NumPy, you can find out the notebook of Pandas, and you can find out the notebook of visualization as well. Fine. And I'm going to basically give this particular notebook in a different link. Okay, so only this link is going to be different. Otherwise, all the basically notebooks are in the same drive link. Okay. Now, if I ask, okay, so what kind of observation you can make? So I think you can definitely make an observation that Mumbai has hosted highest number of matches. Then this is okay. I'm not able to pronounce it in very well. Okay, so Bloem Fontaine is hosted the less number of matches. Okay, and top. You can also make one more observation. So top 10 cities in which highest number of matches are played are basically are from India. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so top 9 basically cities. Okay, so and then if I ask you the second question, and this is what we call an analysis. This is what we call an analysis. So suppose if I ask you the question, so second question, which season has most number of the matches? Okay, so in which season we had most number of matches? Okay, so I think we have one column as season means, yeah. So season means what? So in which year? Okay, so in which year most number of matches are basically took place? Okay, so suppose this is the question I ask you. So I think the answer is very simple, and you can definitely try to find it out. I think this is the easiest question. Okay, so IPL and season, and then a simply value counts. Okay, so I think this is the simplest question. Okay, so in 2013, most number of matches are held. Okay, 76 matches, then a 74, then a 72. Okay, and I think for this, I think you if you remember, so we can plot a count plot, a simple count plot we can plot for this thing. Okay, So on the x-axis, I'm having a season, and then I can basically give a data set. Okay, so data is nothing but a type here. Yeah. So in a 2013, okay, so we have a most number of matches in a year 2013, then 2012, then 2011, okay, and then our 2016, then our 2014, likewise. Okay, so and you can basically write down your observation. Okay, so what is the observation you get from this analysis? You can write down your observation. Okay, now if I ask you the third question, okay, so if I ask you the third question, that who has won IPL trophy most number of the times? Okay, means in a simple terms, if I ask you that who won this IPL trophy a most number of the times? Okay, so who won this IPL trophy most number of the times? So I think if you are basically a cricket lover or IPL lover, so you guys know the answer. But definitely you can try to get this answer with the help of a plotting, or maybe with the help of a with the help of a pandas. Okay, so if I try to plot this thing, okay, so I think again a simple count plot. Okay, so again with the simple count plot, I am able to plot this thing. So just try to plot this thing. So because we have 14 teams. So if I try to plot this thing, so plt dot fix size. Now SNS dot count plot. On the x-axis, I'm having an winner, and I'm trying to get this winner from my data sets. Okay, I'm able to basically plot this thing, but I'm not able to visualize because it is trying to overlap. So it is trying to overlap. So I'm not able to basically visualize this thing. So how you can basically visualize this thing? Okay, so how you are basically able to make a separation between basically different basically a plot. Okay, a different chart. Because if I'm trying to visualize this thing with maybe plotting, so I'm not able to visualize this thing because all so yes, I'm this is a Sunrisers Hyderabad, but after this I'm getting confused, and maybe I think this is a Delhi Daredevils, but yes, I'm getting confused a lot. Okay, so how I can basically make this thing possible? Okay, so just try to do one thing. So I'm having a 14 teams total. In total, I'm having a 14 teams. Okay, so I can try to arrange this thing in such a manner that I am able to basically visualize this thing. Okay, so in total, I'm having 14 teams. So a range function, I can use a range function. Then there is something in basically. Okay, so x ticks. Okay, so x ticks is basically something. Then s. Okay, so I'm trying to plot for a winner, and then maybe a rotation is equals to vertical. And now if I'm trying to show this plot, so whether I'm able to visualize it correctly. Yeah, now it is fine. Okay, so now you are able to visualize this basically a graph in a much more appropriate way. Okay, so this is now, I think this is now perfect. Okay, so if I so okay, so now if I try to give the answer. Okay, so now if I'm trying to give the answer, so I think Mumbai Indians own the IPL trophy a most number of the times. Then I think in the second place I'm having a Chennai Super Kings. Then maybe in the third place I'm having a Kolkata Knight Riders. Okay, or then I think I'm having okay. So it can also give me maybe some disturbing value. Okay, Delhi Daredevils, Kings 11 Punjab, and maybe Raj. Okay, so maybe yeah, I think Rajasthan Royals. Okay, so it is trying to okay, so because in a winner chart, okay, so just don't confuse, guys, don't confuse, because in a winner column, I am having basically a winner team. So I think I can't ask this question. Which team is basically able to own most number of the Ipl trophy? This question is totally wrong. Okay, so this is my bad. Okay, this is my mistake. Okay, so a question can be like this. Okay, so which team win a most number of the matches? Okay, so this may be the correct question. Okay, so sorry for basically asking you the wrong question. Okay, so this may be the question, that which team own basically a most number of the matches. Okay, so yes, Mumbai Indians own the most number of the matches in terms of a matches. Mumbai Indians own the most number of the matches. Then I think in second place we have a Chennai Super Kings. Then we have a Royal Challengers Bangalore, or no, I think Kolkata Knight Riders, then Royal Challengers Bangalore, then I think Kings 11 Punjab, then Rajasthan Royals. And I think if I make basically analysis, so I can say as Rising Super Giants own a less number of matches. Okay, Mumbai own the most number of the matches, and Rising Pune Super Giants own the less number of the matches. Fine. So this is a way I can basically try to make the analysis. Okay, so this is a third question, or this is the third analysis which I can make on this particular data set. Okay, okay, so okay, let me ask the next question. Okay, let me ask the next question. Okay, so what may be the next question, or if I, in a simple terms, if I ask you what may be the next analysis? Okay, so next analysis may be what? Okay, so if I ask you the question, who has been awarded with a player of the match most number of the times? Okay, so who won a player of the match award most number of the times? Okay, so again, I am having this column. I am having this basically a player of the match column. So from this column, I can basically get this answer. Okay, so from this column, I can get this answer. Okay, so and with the simple account plot, or I can say with the simple value counts. Okay, so player of the match. Okay, so I'm just trying to basically get this attribute from here. So player of match. Okay, so Chris Gale. Okay, so Chris Gale won basically a player of the match award most number of the times. Then Yusuf Pathan, then David Warner, then A.B. de Villiers, then sorry, then Rohit Sharma. Okay, so these are all the players who won a player of the match award most number of the times. Okay, then Suresh Raina, then MS Dhoni, then Gautam Gambhir, then Mike Hussey, then Ajinkya Rahane. Okay, guys. So, and definitely you can, in a same way. Okay, so guys, in a same way, you can basically plot this thing. Okay, so in a same way, you can basically plot this thing. So just like in above. Okay, so just like in above cell, you plot basically for the winner. So you can plot for the player of the match award. Okay, so definitely, I think. And definitely you can choose and value anything. So maybe in this place you can choose n value as 20 or 30, maybe because the player of the match award basically this list is maybe a solo. Okay, so if I try to check the unique values inside this, so this list is basically solo. Okay, just okay, so 201 rows are there. Okay, so definitely we are not able to basically check for 201 values. So you can check for the first 10 values, or you can check for the first 20 values, because a simple question is asked to you that who won a player of the match award most number of the time. So I think the simple answer is skill, or maybe a first 5 or maybe first 10 you can give. That is completely fine. Okay. Now, the two most important question, are maybe a two most important analysis if I can make. Okay. So after winning the toss, okay, so after winning the toss, so after winning the toss, a captain is trying to take a decision. Okay, so whether he is going to ball first or whether he is going to bat first. Okay, so if I ask you the question, okay, so if in an analysis part, if I ask you the question, which decision has proved to be most beneficial? Okay, so a batting first decision or maybe a fielding first decision, which decision is basically a more helpful? Okay, so which decision proves to be most basically a beneficial for the captain? Okay, so how I can basically make this possible? How I can basically make this analysis? So with a simple count plot, because I think I'm having basically a column, I'm having basically a toss decision column. Okay, so I think first I need to decide. Okay, so I think I need to. Okay, so if I ask you the question, which kind of analysis is this? Okay, so this is definitely not going to be a univariate analysis, because basically this particular you can only give this particular answer with from by using a two columns. Okay, so without using both the columns, you can't give basically this answer. Okay. So I think you need to use two columns. Okay. So you need to use this a toss decision column, and you need to use basically this winner column. Okay. Then only you can basically give the answer of this analysis. Okay. This analysis question. Okay. So you can only give the answer of this analysis question when you are trying to take both of these columns simultaneously. Okay, a toss decision and a winner column. Fine, guys. So let me take this. So first I'm trying to check basically after winning the toss, which decision is most preferable. Okay, so I think, in my opinion, I think most of the time captain try to decide a field first. But yes, we can basically we can visualize this thing with the help of a count plot, that which decision is most preferable for the captains. Okay, so in an IPL, okay, if I talk about toss, I think I need to take a toss, basically winner also. Yeah, field first. Okay, so this decision is basically most preferable. So after winning the toss, captain is always trying to basically trying to take a field first. Okay, this is most preferable decision. Okay. Now, if I'm trying to check, okay, so which decision is basically most preferable? Okay, batting first or a bowling first? Okay, so okay, let me show you. Okay, so which so toss winner. Okay, so I'm trying to maybe using a count plot. Okay, so in an IPL, so a toss winner can be a match winner. Okay, so wherever a toss winner is equals to a match winner. Fine. Okay. So I'm trying to check. So where basically a toss winner is equals to match winner. So what is basically a decision? Okay, so whether he is trying to field first, or whether he is trying to basically take basically a ball first. Okay, so in an IPL, okay, fine. And it depends upon source decision. Right. Okay, so building first is basically I think so is basically a more beneficial. I think so whenever a player is trying to decide whenever basically captain take field first. Okay, so whenever he's trying to take a ball first, so he's able to win that match. Okay, so chasing team is basically, if I can say in this way, so a chasing team is basically winning a lot. Okay, so fine. So yes, you guys can make this visualization, and I think you guys can visualize this thing in maybe a much better way. Let me show you. Because I think here there is some yeah, definitely I think with the bar plot, I think in a is the bar plot like in yesterday's session I basically plot a bar plot on the basis of three categorical columns. Okay, so I think we can do the same thing over here, and it looks basically pretty much beautiful in comparison to this. Okay, so whenever toss winner toss winning is equals to what? Okay, so is equals to match winner. Fine. Equals to, okay, so fine. This is completely fine. So this is my maybe DF. Okay, so a same team is basically win the toss, and the same team is basically win the match. Okay, and I'm trying to see that that team. Okay, so that team is take a field or maybe take the ball. Okay, so Rising Pune Super Giant win the toss. They are decided to field first, and they win the match. Okay, and they are definitely in some cases. So Royal Challengers Bangalore win the toss. They are decided to bat first, and they win the match. Okay. Now, let me, okay, so basically let us decide which basically decision is most beneficial. Okay, so df dot winner dot maybe a unique. Okay, so what are basically a unique values in this? 14 teams are there. Now, if I try to maybe plotting, okay, so if I now if I try to make a plotting, so let's try to make a bigger plot in this place. SNS dot count plot, then TF of winner ka plot is necessary, and then a toss decision I need to decide. Okay, so you so on the basis of what? On the basis of toss decision. This is the most important part. Okay, this is the most important part. So I think you already know that always take the most important thing or maybe output inside a view, just like in a iris case. Okay, and then I think I have total number of teams are 14. So again, I need basically the same thing because I need again a asterisk kind of a thing. Otherwise, it will show me the value in that form, which we don't want. So in place of IPL, I just give a DF everywhere, and DF of winner is fine. And now if I basically try to plot this thing. Okay, so yes, guys, I think now you are able to basically make a more clear visualization. Okay, so bad field and okay, so a bad field. Okay, so now you are able to basically make your decision much more easier way. Okay, so Kolkata Knight Riders, so whenever they are trying to own the toss, they are decided to field first, and then yes, they are basically win that match. Okay. Now the same thing is happening with the Kings 11 Punjab. Okay, so most of the time people they are trying to take a field first. Okay, and yes, in that case they win also. I think a Chennai Super Kings having a different criteria, but most of the team with the field first are basically able to win the match. Okay, so I think Kolkata Knight Riders, then a Rising Pune Super Giant, Kings 11 Punjab, and a Rising Pune Super Giant. Interesting case. Okay, so Rising Pune Super Giant is not basically on a single match whenever they are trying to bat first. Okay, so this is quite amazing. Then Kolkata Knight Riders, then Kings 11 Punjab, Royal Challenger Bangalore, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Mumbai Indians, Gujarat Lions is having basically the same thing. Then the Delhi Daredevils, only team. Okay, so the only team, a Chennai Super King, own a most number of the times when they are decided to bat first. Okay, so this is the only team, and or maybe the Deccan Chargers and Pune Warriors also. But this is the only team which is having a highest match with a bat first. Okay, so this is basically an analysis you guys can make, and this analysis is definitely very important. And with this analysis basically so definitely this analysis will help you guys to make a further basically a predictive model. Okay, so to make your predictive model. Okay, now as a machine learning engineer, so as a data scientist, after making this analysis, your job is to make a predictive model, and your predictive model is basically gives us the result. Okay, so which team is so you are trying to make a prediction. Okay, so which team is going to win this year? Okay, so in 2021, which team is going to win? Okay, so or maybe which team is going to win a most number of the matches this year? Fine. So or maybe in a particular match, which team is going to win? Okay, so you can make this kind of analysis, you can make this kind of a prediction only after basically after getting some insights from your data set, and that is only possible, that is so you can only get some insights by making this kind of an analysis. Okay guys, so I think this is it from my side, and I think this is the end of this I think this is the end of this maybe a beautiful journey of data analysis with Python. Now if you guys have any question or any query, so you guys can definitely ask. Okay, so like here, if I show you, okay, so someone asking me, okay, so whenever you basically click on the description box, so you get a code link. Okay, so when you click on this code link, so it will redirect you to this page. Fine. So it will redirect you to this page, and yes, here I think you are able to basically check your code. Okay, so for each and everything. Okay, so for each and every session you get basically this particular code link. Okay, so with this link you are able, so this link is able to redirect you. So with this link is basically redirect you on the basically a drive page. Fine. Okay guys, so I think okay, fine. And guys, for basically for on the so I'm basically I'm more involved in a machine learning. I'm more involved in a machine learning. So I also created my own Telegram channel to basically help or to guide basically students and the professionals who want to learn data science. Okay, who wants to learn a data science, or maybe wants to learn a machine learning. So for that purpose, I made my own basically a channel. Okay. So if you guys are interested, okay, so if you guys have any interest in a machine learning, or maybe if you want to do some further, if you want to get some further knowledge in maybe a data scientist in a field of data science, or maybe in field of a machine learning. So you guys can definitely enroll my channel. Okay, you guys can definitely subscribe my channel, and the channel name is basically AI Made Easy. Okay, so in an easiest possible way, I'm trying to basically uh, help you guys, and I'm trying to basically AI Made Easy. So this is my Telegram channel. Okay, so AI Made Easy. So with this, you guys can subscribe to my channel, and definitely you guys can reach out to us at IT Skills Solution. So anytime if we have any query, so you guys can reach out with us. Okay, so let me check. And I think in a previous video, I think I have some. Okay, so this is our channel, IT Skills and Solution. Okay, so if I basically go on this. So in a pandas too. So somebody asked me a question. Okay, so somebody asked three questions. Okay, so I'm having a 300 columns in one CSV format without headers, and where I need only 4 columns. Okay, so yes, this approach is efficient. Okay, so he asked me so whether this approach is efficient. So yes, this approach is efficient. Then I'm not able to understand this question. Okay, so if the guy is in the meeting itself, so you can ask your query here. Okay, so in a CSV, I'm having an uncommon column. So a row, so but you write a row of 15 columns, then a row two having a 20 columns. So what does it mean? So you are asking me a row one is having a 15 columns. So definitely, if you are having a unordered column list, so you get an error. Okay, and then so your column number should be same. Okay, if you ask me for an advice, and if I am not getting your question very clearly, but you have asked me for an advice, so you should use basically a correct column. You should use a same column number. Okay, I have two CSV where I need to compare a row one from CSV one and row one from CSV two. Okay, so the first row of both the both the basically CSV file. Okay, so yes, you can make not you don't need to use basically a loop. You can basically try to make a data frame of both the CSV file, and then you can make a comparison. Okay, so with the basically operator, fine. So this is the answer of your query. Okay. And definitely, guys. So, and one more thing, if I give you one more information. So, this is my maybe LinkedIn channel. Okay, so if you guys want to reach out to me, so you can definitely reach out to me through a LinkedIn. Okay, so I am basically mostly available on a LinkedIn. Okay, so if you want to reach out to me, so you can basically reach out to me through my LinkedIn, through a LinkedIn. Okay, so this is the easiest way through which you can basically reach out to me. And in a description box also, I'm trying to basically put these links. Okay, so the Telegram link. Okay, so the link of my Telegram channel and the link of my basically LinkedIn account, so that you guys are not find any difficulty to reach out to me for any kind of a guidance. If you're trying to make, if you want to make a career in a machine learning, or if you want to make a career in maybe data scientist, so definitely you are not finding any kind of a difficulty in that. Fine, guys. So this is all about, and thank you so much. Uh, okay. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good future ahead. Wish you all of you very good luck in future. Thank you so much.